the reason for having an interaction, I'm sure all of you are aware. At the outset, I would like to express my disappointment at the unfortunate, or let's say, decision taken by the NGO Coordination Committee. We have from the election department tried our level best to reach out to all stakeholders, and I have made an extensive effort to present our perspective on the circumstances and arrangements that we have made for the brew voting. We have had a dialogue earlier with the NGO Coordination Committee. We have also had a dialogue with, in fact, both of us, we went to the Synod headquarters and we had a dialogue with the moderator of MKHC and other church leaders who were very receptive to our appeal that there should not be a boycott of elections. Now, I was truly pained to see the decision yesterday, which calls not only for a boycott but a bandh starting from 8th of April. And I think that I can at this juncture use your medium to first of all appeal once again to the NGOs, all section of NGOs, the people of Mizoram at large who have a right of franchise. And I think that it is not only a right, but it's also a national duty to cast your ballot and to have a representation in Parliament who can speak the voice of Mizoram, who can make the aspirations of the people of Mizoram known to those who sit in Parliament. And to call for a boycott of this nature is going to, let's say, go against the democratic traditions which are at the very heart of Mizo society. Ever since that I've come here in the last 1 year, I have come to admire and respect the traditions of Mizo society, which are based on very, very democratic principles. And I think that it is our collective duty to ensure that these are only deepened with time and nothing should come in the way of doing anything which erodes the democratic traditions. Now, coming to the specific issues which were raised by the NGOs at various platforms in their meeting with the Chief Secretary and in their public articulation. First point they have said is that they had applied for deletion of a large number of brew voters. About 8,000 odd applications were received, and the applications were not considered. Now, my answer to that is that we have gone purely as per provisions of law. Firstly, under the law and the guidelines of Election Commission, applications for deletion in bulk cannot be accepted, number one. Number two is that in an election year, there cannot be mass deletions from the electoral roll when the elections are such a short distance away. Number three, on merit, their fundamental issue which they had raised in their application was that the brew people are not ordinarily resident of Mizoram and therefore their name should not figure in the electoral roll. Now, my answer to that is that we referred the matter to Election Commission saying that this is at the heart of their applications which they have given to us. And the Election Commission, which is the authority which kind of decides on whether they are ordinarily resident or not, gave us a clarification that because of historical reasons, these people are to be treated as ordinarily resident of Mizoram. And therefore, both in terms of procedure and in terms of substance, we could not have accepted these rejection of applications. So it was not out of any prejudice against the application. I fully understand and respect the Mizo sentiment which is behind this application. But at the same time, we are prisoners of law and we are guided by the directions of Election Commission, right? So we had acted as per those directions. At the same time, the second thing which is being said is that for purposes of revision of rolls, we have taken applications in bulk. The answer to that, my answer to that, I'm being very, very honest and straightforward in my conversation today. My answer to that is, the fact of the matter is, if we had to collect applications individually, people would have had to go to the camps to collect those applications, right? The NGOs resisted our people from going to the camps. So we said, okay, fine, let us ask their leaders to come to Kanmun, submit the applications. However, we did not stop there, by the way. We said that this time, all those who have submitted applications must present themselves with their documents to demonstrate that their claims are genuine. So for the first time in the history of elections in Mizoram, 1,000 BRU applicants turned up at Kanmun. We deputed the teams from our election office to hear their claims and objections at Kanmun. Those people who didn't turn up, in fact, their applications were not even looked at. So of the 1,000 odd people who actually turned up with their claims, I think about 150 odd applications, 160 odd applications were accepted. I think about 2,000 applications were received on the whole roughly, of which 1,000 people turned up and 160 only were accepted. And this exercise was done at the level of electoral registration officers who were from the MCS, and subsequently there was no appeals which were filed or anything like that. So that is the story of registration and deletion and addition in electoral rolls. That's one part of the story. The second part of the story is that the question which is repeatedly put not only to us but to the state government is that they are not notified class of voters. Now let me explain. Under the Representation of People Act 1950, there is a particular section which defines which voters can be designated as notified class of voters. Once you designate a certain category of voters as notified class of voters, the only manner in which they can cast their ballot is through postal ballot. There is no other method. So in previous elections, the BRU voters at some stage were declared as notified class of voters, and they, as all of you know, were casting postal ballot. Now, the NGOs don't want the postal ballot route because they want people to come to Mizoram to cast their ballot. So very clearly, we cannot declare them as notified class of voters, because if we do, the only way in which they can exercise their franchise is through postal ballot. That's the second issue. The third issue is about why we are making special arrangements for them at Kanmun. My short answer to that, or like straightforward answer to that, is that there was in the last assembly election a dialogue which was held between the NGOs and the Election Commission and the Election Department, in which a commitment was made that yes, elections will be held in Mizoram. And Kanmun was chosen as the most convenient location in which a balance is struck between the logistics and ease of the voters to come to vote, and also the demand that voting should happen in Mizoram. And all of you are aware that more than 6,000 BRU voters turned up for the casting their franchise. Now, nothing has changed between assembly election and the 4 months that have gone by. So while I respect, as I said earlier, the sentiment which essentially is behind this demand, I completely respect the Mizo sentiment, which is driving them to ask that people should go back to their polling stations. However, let us understand that the key difficulty or challenge is a political one. The political problem of repatriation of Bru voters cannot be addressed through elections. It is the responsibility of the state government, and I'm sure they are very consciously seized of the matter, which is trying to engage with Home Ministry and all of that. Unfortunately, what has happened is that in the dialogue so far, it has been a four-party dialogue in which Tripura government, state government, Home Ministry and the Bru leadership has been involved. In this dialogue, there has been no consultation or communication with Election Commission. The role of Election Commission is very, therefore, limited to, okay, they will say, who are your registered voters? We have to make arrangements to make sure that they are able to cast their ballot. And therefore, we are making these arrangements. When they are not party to a dialogue of that nature, it is unfair to expect that elections will be used as a platform for repatriation. That is a separate exercise. So I can only say, even for purposes of repatriation, I have said it in a smaller group when I met some people earlier. My own feeling when I went to the Bru camps was that the leadership tends to sometimes confuse the issue in the minds of the people there, that if you go back to Mizoram, there will be trouble, that you will not be safe, that you will not be taken care of. Let us remember, in the assembly elections 4 months ago, 6,000 Brus have come and gone. They have gone and seen for themselves with their own eyes that what kind of warmth and hospitality they received from the YMA at Kanmun. YMA had banners put out which said, "We welcome Bru voters." They made arrangements for their food. They made shelters for them to vote. And that is the sentiment with which they have gone back. A second time around, 1,000 Brus have come now for registration of electoral rolls. At that time, frankly speaking, we made no security arrangements. It was normal security of the police station of Kanmun. They have gone back again, reinforced with that sentiment. This is a different set of people. 7,000 Brus have gone back with that sentiment. I personally feel this is not the time to spoil the goodwill which the Mizos have earned in the majority of the minds and hearts of Bru people. And this hardening of position may have an adverse impact even on the exercise of repatriation. All I'm appealing is that all of you have been so hospitable, which is so characteristic to the Mizo character. Let us stick to that and let us make arrangements and let them feel comfortable and safe. I'm pretty sure, in fact, even today when I met the Chief Secretary, he told me that we are going to be engaged very seriously in the exercise of repatriation after the monsoons are over. And his assessment is that a majority of people are actually wanting to come back. All I'm saying is, having gone this far, please do not do anything which will prejudice the larger interest. And let us all create an atmosphere and environment which is harmonious and which will give them the confidence that yes, in 2019 is going to be a watershed year and we are going to go back to Mizoram. So anyway, this is the platform from which I thought I'll say what my heart feels on the issue and to share with you my honest feeling about the whole thing which has happened in the last few days. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer.